Hello and welcome to Sega News Bits Extra. I'm your host George, and with me is Barry.
Hello.
And it's almost that time of year, right? So, like, the news is not as great as it has been in the past. I'm assuming early 2019 we'll have a lot more news. But we do have some interesting news stories, a lot of Sonic stuff here. But new Team Sonic Racing track and tune revealed, Sand Road. So you did the story, Barry, so anything you want to say about this?
It's these reveals are pretty standard now, it seems. So the track is, in Team Sonic Racing, it's actually using Sonic Adventure's Sand Hill music, and it features music by T. Lopes and Jun Suno. And the track itself, it doesn't really resemble, it has sand, but it doesn't really resemble Sand Hill. I remember Sand Hill had like cactuses and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. It looks cool, but it's kind of like a standard outdoor desert track. I hope it looks a little more like a Sonic level, all said and done. But overall, I'd say I'm positive about this. It looks like the game's moving in a good direction.
How many of these tracks are we still going to get? Have they told us how many tracks we're supposed to expect in the final product?
I think we're going to have as many tracks as there are in All-Stars Racing Transformed, and they said that includes some returning tracks from previous games, and we've already seen the first track from the original All-Stars Racing. So there will be some returning ones, but I think the tracks will probably be... There's more tracks than racers, I think. So...
The next bit of news is that Puyo Puyo and Puyo Puyo 2, or Tetsu, Japanese for 2, I don't know how to speak Japanese, sorry, is coming to Nintendo Switch as the Sega Ages lineup. We do know that both these games are going to be the arcade versions of each one.
That's weird.
And it's kind of interesting because there's only like 8 titles so far announced. Outrun is coming 2019 too.
Yeah.
But a lot of them have been puzzle games, basically. It's been the genre that's been basically covered the most. We got these two coming out, and then we had Columns 2 in the past. So what do you think about all these puzzle games coming back and Sega basically doing more puzzle games than they've ever done before?
It's fine. I'd like to see more arcade rarities like Revenge of Death Adder, or I'd like to see them cover all of the Super Scalar games. It's cool to see these, but I guess they work well on the Switch. I think that's why they're picking them. They're good on-the-go games.
I agree with that, but I also want to see this, go on other consoles. It's cool that it's on the Switch, but at this point, it's just emulating classics. You already did the work. You injected all this new content into these ROMs because technically it's still on a ROM. Mm-hmm. Why not just put it on the PS4, on the Xbox One, on the PC, and let it... I don't know why Sega's so strict on sticking with Sega Ages on just one platform.
Yeah, it does seem odd.
The next bit of news is not really a big bit of news, but I put it in here because I love these fan translation projects. I think they're important to rediscover classics. This one's a Game Gear game. I can't say the name. So Muldrayan, the Sisters of Light and Darkness. It's a JRPG. So far, for what I've noticed, it's basically your typical your father and your friend went missing, so you go out and find them. It has a female protagonist, but it's actually more popular because it pushed the Game Gear to its limits, a lot of people consider it, and it had music by Hitoshio Sakamoto, which is the Final Fantasy XII composer, which that had a pretty good soundtrack. I never played Final Fantasy XII, but I might play this. I actually kind of like going back and playing these translated projects. Obviously, Barry, you didn't hear about this game, but what do you think about fans going back and translating projects like these and getting games out of we would never experience in the past?
Yeah, no, I think this is great. This isn't a game I ever would think of playing, though I guess if it's free to try, I definitely will pick up the translated ROM. I do wonder, though, if the composer, if this was a passion project for him, or if it was just a job, and he's like, oh, that's why you're bringing it back, because of me? I wonder how good the music is. Have you heard the music?
I have not heard the music, not yet, but I don't know, maybe after this podcast I'll download the MP3s of it. I guess if you're just gonna experience the game for the music and the game's just whatever, maybe it's not even worth it. But if you still have a Game Gear and you still play it, it'd be pretty cool to put on a EverDrive or whatever and pop the ROM in and play a translated new game.
For sure.
You know, gives those old consoles life. The next bit of news is Sonic Team is teaming up with Humble Bundle to do another Sonic Humble Bundle charity bundle. They kind of did this, I think, last year or the year before, but so it's nothing new. But let me tell you what you guys get. If you guys pledge $1, you get Sonic 4 Episode 1, Sonic Adventure DX, Sonic CD, Sonic and SEGA All-Stars Racing, Sonic Adventure 2, and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle DLC. If you beat the average, which right now, as I record this, it's $7.03, you get Transforms Collection, Lost World, Generations with the Knights DLC, and Episode 2 of Sonic 4. But if you pay $15, you get all of that, plus Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces. And like always, Humble Bundle it goes to charity, to help charity. What do you think about this, Barry? And like $15 for basically every single Sonic game in the last, what, 15 years?
Yeah.
Is $15 basically. Is this... I guess if you don't own any PC games, you have to go on this. What do you think? You think this is really steep?
I think...
discount on all these games?
Yeah, I think it's a big discount, and if you haven't really gotten into Steam or Sonic PC games, this is a great deal. They've done something like this before, and I've actually backed it. I remember it was for the anniversary because you got a free T-shirt out of it. Do you remember that? It wasn't Humble Bundle, but yeah. And so I have all these games except for Forces and Mania, so I don't know if I'm gonna go for this. I'm not really a big...
Yeah, but if you don't have any, this is totally worth it. So we did this thing last episode where we talked about our news for the week. I guess I'll talk about my news for the week. Capcom Cup happened, and that was actually very cringy. Like, Sony stopped backing up the project, I don't know if you know, and they took away money from the sponsorship. So now, like, the event is filled with ads. I tried to watch it for a little bit, and it was pretty disappointing. It just felt really weird and low budget, and they announced a new character as Kage, which I'm not that interested in. So it's going to be, I don't know, I guess interesting. And my other bit of news that I have is that they're canceling Green Arrow on DC Comics, which is one of the comic books that I've always picked up because when I first got into comic books, Green Arrow is one of the comics I first bought. So they're ending it on the Rebirth. I don't know if they're going to bring it back later, but I'm assuming like every DC comic book hero that they're going to end this tale and he'll come back later in a reboot. What's your news story for the week you want to talk about, Barry? I just talked about like 5.
I would just say my news story of the week is that the Simpsons turned 30 this, I believe, this past week. And it's kind of cool to celebrate. One of the things they're doing is that they're playing the original Christmas special from 30 years ago this Sunday. And I don't know the last time they've done that, but it's very rare for them to play like super old episodes. I think they played the Michael Jackson episode when he died, and I can't think of the last time. So, you know, if you like watching something on TV at the same time as everyone else, you can check it out this Sunday. I'll probably be watching it. I won't be live tweeting because, you know, I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I don't do that.
You're not that type of dude.
No, I like to pay attention. So.
Yeah. All right then. And that's our news stories for the week. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for the support. We love you guys. See ya.
Bye.